Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel and part 2 of Modern Day Athena. We're going to work on her hair today. Before I get started, may I please ask a favor of you? Just kind of jump up there and hit that like button on the video. And that just would be so appreciated by me and really help out the channel and all that good stuff. So just a little reminder that those little things like that, comments, all of that, they make a huge difference in any of the YouTubers that you follow and enjoy. So okay, let's get started. So hair today, blonde hair, and we're going to do the flowers first, and I want to do those first because I want to put a layer of the white pencil on these flowers so that when I go to do the hair, I'm less likely to accidentally put color on top of the white petals where I don't want it. So I'm just going to use white. I know this pencil is starting to get a little bit short here. This is pretty easy. In fact, I probably should just come back to you after it's all filled in, but it's pretty quick and easy, especially if you're on tan paper. If you're not on tan paper, then you won't even need to do this. You might want to add some gray into some of the, to kind of add a little bit of shadow in the petal. I am going to try and mix things up and do some of the pages on white and some of the pages on the tan. So this is my Nina Desert Storm cardstock. Maybe what I should do, I'm thinking out loud here. One of the alternatives to this Nina Desert Storm cardstock is Strathmore mixed media paper in the tan. It comes in gray and tan. It might come in another color too. I can't remember, but it's not as smooth as this particular paper, but it is not as toothy as the regular Strathmore toned tan paper that some artists and colorists like to use. I personally find that paper way too toothy for me. I battle with the tooth. I just plain don't like it. And I know that for some people, they like that ability to do a bazillion, gajillion layers. But yeah, it's not for me. So anyway, where my train of thought was going there was Canary Yellow. Was maybe I should just do a page on that other paper so you can see how that paper works. Yeah, I might do that. Okay, and then I'm going to just take some Limepeel and just circle these. And there's these little, they're like little, green seed pod thingies from the flowers. We'll add a few of those in there. And just wondering if I don't do it now, I might forget. I'm gonna take some, I think 50% cool gray and just put some little shadows kind of in here so the petals aren't just straight white. I actually kind of prefer white flowers with a little bit of gray anyway, so. It's subtle. If you don't feel like doing it, you know, leave it out. It's just my thing. All right, so for her hair, we're going to use white. We're going to use Eggshell, Beige Sienna, and some, I think I'm going to use Espresso unless I change my mind and switch to like dark brown or something, but we'll start with saying it's going to be Espresso and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to start with the white, and I'm just going to flick in some kind of streaks and in the center of some of the clumps. This is going to be the brightest highlight where we want, you know, where the light is hitting and catching the hairs. And then we'll come in when we're done and add some flyaway hairs, like you can kind of see in the actual coloring page. There's some of those, and that is because I added those at the end. You don't have to worry about them too much. If you cover them up, it's not a big deal. We're going to add some anyway. If you're using white paper, I'm going to mention this now because I'm thinking of it. If I forget, you guys will know. But if you're using white paper and you get enough of a nice buildup of color on the hair, meaning you're going to have multiple layers and it's going to be a nice saturated hair, you can use a blade like this. This is the slice tool, and you can actually take it and pull it through your through the color pencil and create these flyaway hairs that we're going to do with our white Prisma because we can on tan paper. But slice tool is awesome for getting really cool details in hair when you're using white paper. When you're using the tan paper, it works, but you know that it's not going to show up quite as well as if you're doing it on the white paper. So it's one of the benefits of white paper. I am going to go ahead and just draw these in. I've got a really nice sharp white pencil. We can always add more, but those I really want here. These little really faint ones, we can just add those randomly later wherever we want, so I'm not going to worry about those. I'm going to do some streaks. Let's put in our I have enough? I'm debating. I'm thinking I might want to put a few more of the white in here. All right, let's go to our eggshell. I know it's not showing up quite as much as it would if the background was done. But I think it'll show up better after we put the other darker colors in. So I'm just kind of going over, still almost sticking with the center of the hair clumps, not worrying about going over the white. If I do, that's fine. We can always add more if we need it. Let's use our Beige Sienna. Now I almost feel like I wish I would have done the background first, because then this hair would be showing up. Oh well. Okay, this is hair on her skin right here. So I'm going to pull that yellow or that eggshell out. So now with the eggshell or the Beige Sienna, I'm kind of trying to stay away from the center and keep that either at the top and bottom of the clump of hair, or if I do add it, I want to do it with kind of streaks. I think we need a lot more eggshell, but I'm not going to do that yet. This hair goes so fast. All right, espresso. Now I want to use a fairly light hand. And if I do put any of it in the body of the hair, I want to make sure that I'm doing it very lightly and with very thin strokes. This is where her hair is really going to start to stand out. Putting those darks in makes all the difference. I mean, that just already looks so much better just in adding the espresso. I'm going to softly blend this into the scalp. I want a soft line there. I don't want a real hard line. I'm going to put some more eggshell in here. So that eggshell goes over that really dark part that's part of the grayscale. It covers that up. And then we can go in and add the dark back. And it's not as dark. It still looks a little bit too. This is the Beige Sienna. I think. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Once I get the rest of this in here. This is where you want to keep turning your pencil if you can, so that the lines that you put on here, instead of being soft, which is what you get when your pencil has a flat edge, instead of being soft, you get a little bit harder of a line, which makes it look more like hair. Seriously, how is that even possible? I'm gonna come to be known as the colorist who always forgets body parts. This is peach. I swear. And let's see, let me pull out some chestnut. Just a little bit, just to tone that down a little bit, since it is in shadow. It's like her ear lobe. Okay. Just blend that, see what that looks like. I guess that's okay. My goodness. It's inevitable. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more of the eggshell now. Kind of debating on something here. What have we got that's like the next? This is Jasmine. I just want to see. I think I'm just going to throw a few of these in here. Just to brighten that hair up a little bit. And then I think it's going to be good. I'm going to blend it. Now I'm going to take my white and get it nice and sharp. I'm just going to do some loose hairs. That one might be a little bit bright, but I think after I go over everything, you probably won't even see it, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to do a couple. They show up best when you go kind of opposite the direction that the hair is going, so that it crosses over your strands. If you go right in the same direction as the hair strands, then they don't really show up as being loose flyaway hairs. So this is the point where if you were doing this on white paper, you could come in with your slice tool, and if you just gently scrape, you're not going to see it because the paper is tan underneath, so you're not going to see it on this, but if you just gently scrape across your paper, again, if you have enough layers of color down, there has to be something there for the slice tool to scrape away and reveal the white paper underneath. So as long as you have enough layers, that slice tool will work really well. And if you're doing the tan paper like I am, then these little white strokes show up pretty well, and that's all you need to do. And we could even do some more of these after we get the background in if we wanted to. So the time of this is going very quickly, so I'm almost tempted. To do the background and do the owl last. So in my original, I wanted her to look very sweet and kind of innocent. And since I called her modern day Athena, it seemed appropriate to do her tank top in white, kind of like in the where the original goddess would have worn a white toga. She's going to wear a white tank top. And you can do it any color that you want. If you don't want to do white. So we'll get this in here. And actually, I'll probably just, why don't I just cut to the next section, because really you're not learning anything here. I'm literally just filling in the color here with white. So I'm gonna do that, and then when that's finished, I'll come right back. Okay, so I'm just going to take a 50% cool gray pencil, and I'm gonna just put a little bit of like a shadow lip sort of thing, like on her shirt. It's very light. And I'm not sure if I want to do that along this or not. I kind of like it just here on the neckline. And then maybe just a little bit of shadowing, very faint right here. And then just blend with the white. It's subtle, it's not anything major. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do next, since we're not even barely at a half an hour, is I'm going to trace over the mandala with a white pencil. And I'm going to do that off camera because we don't need to take up the time of watching me trace the outline. So basically just going to trace that outline so that I can prep it for the next, to do the background. And I think, I haven't decided honestly if I'm going to do it in gelatos or in oil pastels. So I'll have to give that a little bit of thought while I'm outlining. But if I outline it, then no matter what I do, it will be a little bit brighter and will show up better no matter what treatment I do on the background. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take my white pencil. And I'm just going to go over and trace everything in pencil, just so that it shows up better. Yeah, so I'll do that and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I have, I took my white Prismacolor and I went over the lines for the mandala. And I decided that I'm going to use gelatos, kind of a mixture of gelatos and color pencil, Prismas. So the colors that I pulled out to use are Jade, Aqua Dolce, Turmeric, and coconut, and maybe a little bit of Comet, but I'm not sure. I have a little bit of that down on the palette, so we'll see. Maybe, probably. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the gelatos for as much of the area that I can use them in. I want to try and avoid going over my mandala. I played around with some to see what, you know, it would look like, and while it definitely still shows up more than it would if I hadn't put the white down, it still, you know, tints it greenish, bluish, and that wouldn't be terrible. And if that's how you want to do it and not worry about going through the painstaking process that this is probably going to be. I don't blame you. However, I can never do things easy. So, I do like the way the mandala looks being bright. So I'm going to just work around it, and I'm going to use some colored pencils to help in that process. So there we go. So I'm just gonna go for it, and we'll just see what we come up with here. So I should probably put a piece of paper underneath this so I don't get my mat all dirty, but I'm gonna be lazy. Don't worry about it. So this might be where I do add some of that, yeah, some of that Comet green. I kind of wanted a, you know, a bluey green. I might even mix some white in right now. Okay. So I think I'll just start by going all around. Some of it might wind up getting a little bit covered. We'll see. I'll just, all I can do is see what happens. And actually, I should have probably done my leaves first. Oh well, it'll be fine. A little bit of white, a little more of this blue. So I'm going to wind up filling in a lot of this with the colored pencils. So this is probably not going to be a super duper fast background. I am going to add some of that Odyssey in here as well. I might even do, oh yeah, because it wasn't Odyssey, it was Turmeric? No, that's right, it was Odyssey. I had both colors pulled out. One's a little bit more orange than the other. So either one will work. But let's just get some of this laid down on here. Sorry, I know my hand's in the way. It can't be helped. Normally when I go over things that have color pencil down, they don't really color what I put down on colored pencil. Unless it's white, of course. I think that I'll still be able to get my color, well, I will. I'll still be able to get my colored pencil down on top of those leaves. I have these little ones here too. Should probably, like I said, I am going to use colored pencil on here as well. So see with the smaller one how much of that color I can get. I should probably just head for the colored pencil. Now that it's kind of smaller areas, it's not going to take too much time. But I like what it looks like so far. Let's put a little bit more white. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so we've got, I pulled out Celadon and Pale Sage. So I think if I just put these on lightly, we won't even be able to tell the difference. It is kind of nice to have the texture of the pre-done background sort of on here to work with. You don't have to work quite as hard in the coloring page to get an interesting background. Just kind of combining the two of them and blending the colors until I get it. I think that's going to work out just fine. Like having that dark in there too. And the Prismacolors especially just blend into the gelatos so nicely. It's like they were made to work together. Kind of like to see if I can get some. Let's try this Goldenrod. If I do it real lightly. Yeah. Love it when a plan comes together. A little bit of this. It feels so much less daunting to work on a background with colored pencils when you're only doing small little sections at a time. It's those big open sections of background that just feel like impossible to even think about tackling with colored pencil. All right, let's do this. Now we can come in. There's some areas of this that I didn't put white pencil down on, all the tiny little dots that if we wanted to, we could come in and, you know, do with a pen of some kind. I don't think you could make a mistake here. Just pick. If you're using the same colors, I don't really think it matters what order they come in here. It's all gonna blend and look good. I am glad I decided not to put the gelatos right over the top of the mandala, though. I think I'm going to be really happy with it being brighter. I don't think I'm going to bother trying to squeeze the gelatos in here. I'm just going to use Celadon and this pale sage. I do want to have it sharp though. Could also use the color of the paper as one of the colors for the mandala. So, you know, if you didn't want to fill in the entire background with pencil, you could let either the tan or the white be part of your design. Or you could completely just cover up the mandala with whatever your background is and let it take a much more secondary place on your page. I think it looks really good this way. And then once I get the orange, the oranges of the owl on here, I think it'll really all pull together real nicely. do a little bit of that orange color down in here too. I hope I'm in frame. Yes, I'm in frame. Okay. There's definitely things I can see, the little teeny tiny details in this mandala that I'm just kind of ignoring. What is this again? Goldenrod. This one takes very little. You want the color to be really soft. And I'm gonna randomly kind of put it in here. You could do this completely different, and you could color the mandala, you know, in sections and make it very colorful too, if you wanted to. Right, I think that's pretty good. Let's do maybe, I don't know, I don't want to go overboard with the orange color. I really want it to be kind of subtle, but maybe a little bit down here. Good. All right. I think we'll just do the leaves, and then we'll be done for today, and we'll come back and the owl will be the last part. I want the leaves, as you guys maybe know by now, I do a lot of silhouetted solid leaves in my pieces. Where is my espresso pencil? Oh goodness. I do a lot of solid leaves, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do a solid colored leaf, and I'm not sure if I'm going to outline it. Okay, so this is espresso. I want the leaves to be kind of dark. Oh, is he broken? No? Wow, that was weird. It almost felt like it was broken. It really feels, why does it feel so weird? I hardly ever color flat. This is, I do flat when I do my gelatos and my oil pastels and stuff, but not when I color anymore, and it feels really weird. So I'm going to turn off the camera and get back onto my my easel, and I'll be right back. Okay, this feels much more natural. I'm debating on, I was gonna do lighter in the center and darker on the out. See, it was broken. I knew it felt weird. I knew it felt good. That was a brand new pencil too, so it was probably broken at the either at the factory or at the art store or something. Anyway, I was thinking that I should probably not go too dark in the middle yet, because I think I want a little bit lighter, like beige. So let's try and see what we get this way. I didn't want to use white because I thought maybe that would not look good, but no, I think that's going to be okay. Let's put some beige down in the center. And you guys can make these leaves any color you want. Don't ever feel like you have to do exactly what I'm doing. Or don't ever feel like you can't do exactly what I'm doing. It's your coloring page. You do what you want. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, so I'm gonna blend it a little bit. I have so many, whoops, sorry, I have so many things all over the table trying to find what I want. I have no idea what he's barking at. There's nothing out front. Not sure how I feel about this. I don't think it's dark enough, so I'm thinking I might forego the beige. Part of me wishes I'd used a marker. But I don't really want a paint pen. I don't want an acrylic paint pen. I want a pen like my black one that I use all the time. But I don't have one. I should probably go see if they make that marker pen that I have in other colors. I think what I'm going to wind up doing is doing it like this and adding black on the outer edges. I'm looking forward to doing the owl. Barn owls are probably my favorite bird. I'm gonna find my black. You know, those colors that I use all the time that should be right in front of my face. Found my espresso. Now I can't find the black. This is so dumb. Oh, imagine that. It was where it belongs, in my case. Okay, so let's... I think instead of a really hard, just straight outline, I'll use the black to darken. Darken the edges, sorry. I know, I have a really bad habit of stopping my train of thought in the middle of my sentence. This is my Sprühfarben Black. You guys know I love this pencil. You can buy them open stock on Etsy, which is really, really nice. It's always the first black pencil I reach for. I think I like the way this is looking. Just kind of actually on these doing more of just the tips. That seems to be giving me a good look. This one needs a little something more. Better. All right. I think I like the way this looks. I might. This is one thing that I don't like, so I'm going to see what happens. So all up in here, the grayscale of the texture of the background is showing and making some of these areas darker. Whereas this down here, it doesn't have any of that texture, and so it feels very bright to me. So this is 70% cool gray. And somehow, very carefully, I want to try and get some of this darker texture. Although it could be challenging because I'm not sure how well that gray is going to look with the orange. So I'm using little teeny tiny circles. Just, it's actually not bad. It's actually not bad with the orange. That helped. That kind of married the two together. I had I had color on my blender and it made a mark. Bye. No more mark. Yeah. Good. I'm very happy with the page so far. I hope you guys are having fun, enjoying it. However you are doing yours. And next video, I'll come back and we'll get the owl done, and then this one will be finished. Thanks so much for being here. Always a pleasure. And as she's saying goodbye, she's like, you know what, this ear still looks a little bit too bright. So I'm just gonna darken that down just a little bit more. Okay, now I'm done. So until I see you guys on the next video, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Happy coloring. Bye.